Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my drugstore beauty favorites for 2017. And I honestly don't have too many products here to share, but everything that I'm going to be talking about I use like super consistently throughout the year. They're products that I will definitely repurchase. Some of them I have repurchased in the past and are products that I can't live without. So if you guys are interested in hearing about my drugstore favorites for 2017, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm pretty sure everything I'm about to mention, I've mentioned in previous favorites videos throughout the year because all of these products I've like really love and I use all the time. Some of them are actually empty products that I kept for this video, and just seeing how small my drugstore favorites pile of makeup is, it makes me really want to go drugstore makeup shopping. And there's been so many drugstore releases in just like the past 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm definitely going to be sharing some of those and pick some up in the upcoming weeks and share them in the beginning of the new year, because I always find that drugstore just comes out with a lot of new releases at the beginning of the year, like the beginning of the year in the summer. That's when like the drugstore products really have like big launches, so I'm excited to do that soon. But I'm going to start off with, let's start off with something I probably haven't mentioned too often because I've been out of this for a little while. And this is from Essence, and this is their eyeshadow base. So it's their eyeshadow primer. This is, it doesn't say the shade on it, but this is the one that I have. I think they come in a couple different colors. This one is a little bit more orangey. So if you have like a light medium skin tone or medium skin tone, this is a really good shade. If you have a fair complexion, this is probably going to show up kind of orangey, but I really like this. So it's just like around my complexion, just a little peachier. It's super opaque, so it covers up any veins on your eyes. But that is definitely the best drugstore eyeshadow primer I've ever tried. I've tried a ton because whenever I run out of my high-end primer, I try to get one that's like way cheaper, and then some of them just end up being like a total flop. But this is the best drugstore primer I've tried, and it's a lot better than some high-end primers that I've tried too. Alright, so if you guys have been following my channel all year, you know that I love this blush. I've put it away for a little while now, but I wore it every single day for like 6 months. This is the Butter Blush from Physicians Formula. They have a bunch of different shades. I believe this one is Plum Rose. There's nothing on the back, so I don't know what I was trying to read, but I'm pretty sure this is the shade Plum Rose, and I think they have 4 different shades. I absolutely love this shade. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's more like a little bit gray, a little bit cool tone, but if you have a warmer complexion, like cool tone blushes are my favorite for sure. It's so pale looking too. Like it barely looks like a blush. It's just so sheer and pale, and I'm like very particular about my blushes, so it basically looks like nothing, and that's kind of why I love it. Like it gives me just like a little bit of a bronzer blush effect, and I love that because sometimes I'll just go in with my bronzer just a little bit on my cheeks instead of blush too. So I like more of a natural, like more bronzy toned blush, so that's why I absolutely love this shade. And if you don't like this shade, they do have some other colors, and I believe they are coming out with more colors from this blush formula. But this formula is so good because it goes on like very satin, very creamy, and it's definitely not too shimmery or too glittery. And I actually really don't like shimmery blushes for some reason. Like I'll buy them thinking I like them, and then I never end up wearing them, and that's so weird to me because I love shimmery bronzer. I love highlighter, but I really don't like shimmery blush for some reason. So I like that it's more like a satin finish where it looks luminous, but you don't see like sparkle. Like I don't like sparkle on my cheek. Like I don't know why, I just don't like it. So I love this shade. I love this formula. I love the smell of it too. It smells just like the Butter Bronzer. I would include that in this video, but I think I included it in last year's video. And even my drugstore favorites from last year, like I still use all of them pretty much like on a weekly basis. So that is another favorite of mine too, and I'm really excited to try out the new Butter Bronzers from Physicians Formula. But I really love their Butter Blush, and I know a lot of people don't like this, and if you see the shade, you probably would be like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. But if you like more of like a barely there nude bronzery blush, definitely check it out. So next, I was living in this bronzer duo from e.l.f. for like maybe 4 months, probably like all spring and summer. This is, I think it's called their Contour Duo actually, and this is in the shade Saint Lucia. And I believe I have all of their contour duos, and this is the one I absolutely love the most. I don't even think I wear like the other shades because this one is super perfect. The bronzer you can use as a contour. It's so like glowy. It's very, it's just neutral, so it's not like too warm. Alright, so there are the swatches, and you could probably tell that they are very like light, and that's why I like it, because it is pretty subtle, especially on my complexion. But if you are more fair, these will definitely show up deeper because they are really pigmented. It's just like on my complexion, they do show up a little bit lighter, and I'm still like pretty natural about a lot of face products nowadays. Like I'm pretty light with my bronzer, my blush. I just like things to look pretty natural, and I usually do like contour and blush and highlighter last. So by the time I get to that point in my makeup, I want it to take like 2 minutes and not really think about it. So I absolutely love this, especially because it goes with like every single makeup look. Even though that the blush is like a little peachier, it's definitely not like too orange where you can't do like a cool tone look. Like you can wear any kind of eyeshadow with this blush and bronzer, any kind of lip color. It's gonna go with everything. So I would travel with this duo all the time. I'm like re-falling in love with it again just now because I was so obsessed with it. It goes with everything. It looks super natural. It doesn't apply patchy. And e.l.f. has a ton of hidden gems in their face products, their powder products. I have a couple more to talk about, but this one in particular is absolutely amazing, especially in this shade. I think it's going to be very flattering on a lot of different complexions. They have different contour duos just like this that are more bold or more shimmery, but I think this one is something that's a lot more universal and goes with a lot of different skin tones and a lot of different makeup looks. So next, the L'Oreal Pro Glow Concealer has replaced every other concealer in my collection, and I've just been so obsessed with this. I honestly think there has been like maybe 10 times in the past 4 months that I've worn a different concealer, because this is my absolute favorite. And that actually shows you how long this concealer lasts, because this is still my first tube and I wear it probably at least 5 days a week. I absolutely love this concealer. I'm in this shade number 2. So this concealer is actually, I think their shade range is a little bit limited. Like number 2 is almost like my skin color. Like I don't really like to wear a highlighting concealer anymore. I don't like a really brightening effect under my eyes anymore. So this is almost my complexion, and it's just a second from the lightest shade. And the lightest shade, like if you have a really fair complexion, I think that they don't even have a shade that's going to be light enough. So this is the shade that I wear, and you guys can tell it's a little bit peachier and more yellow tone, and that's why I like it too. So for a while I was wearing like really light pinkish tone, like kind of cool tone concealer that, like looking back, it basically looks like whiteout under my eyes. Like it's not even brightening. Like just a cool tone concealer on me was not flattering. So that's part of why I've only been wearing this concealer too, because I have a bunch of concealers that just don't match me anymore. And when I go to apply them, I'm like, wow, that does not look good. So I have been loving this shade, and then also the formula. And I'm really into very lightweight concealers because I always use a brightening corrector under my concealer, and then I don't need to do like heavy concealer on top of it. So that's why I really like this, that this is more like a light medium coverage, but it covers what I need it to cover, like for under eyes. I do go in with a brightener. If I didn't, my like dark circles will still peek through, but I kind of like more of a comfortable effect under my eyes than having to worry about like cakiness or like looking too powdery or having my under eyes look too dry. Like I'd rather have more dark circles than worry about the makeup looking too heavy. So that's why I don't mind that it's more lightweight. It's more comfortable to me that it's lightweight. So that's why I really like it. My concealer preferences are like probably the opposite of everybody else. I think a lot of people prefer like full coverage concealer. So if you like more light coverage, definitely check this out. I absolutely love it. And I also just love the finish to it. It just looks like skin when you apply it, so it doesn't look like a lot of makeup product under your eyes. Like if you're wearing really light natural makeup, people would just think like you have really great under eyes. Like it doesn't look like you're wearing heavy makeup. So that's why I really like the finish. And it's also really hydrating too, and I do have drier skin, so I've been super obsessed with that. I'm so happy that that came out because I have a lot of drugstore concealers. Like the Maybelline Fit Me is a very similar formula, but I just find that this one is just like a step up, a little bit more luminous, a bit more of a natural finish and just something I definitely prefer. So I have a couple more L'Oreal products, and of course the Lash Paradise mascara is one of my favorites. I think I have like 4 of these. I think I have 4 open right now in my mascara drawer because I never know which one is open and I just go through them all the time. But this is an amazing mascara, and I did do a video comparing the Lash Paradise to the Better Than Sex mascara. I will link that down below in case you guys want to see like the difference between the two. And I just love this so much better because it's everything I wish the Better Than Sex mascara was. Like, it's a very similar formula, but that one just like gives me so much fallout. And the wand of this one is a bit more precise, where the bristles are really intertwined, and that way you're not getting like full, like really chunky, like weird lashes. You can get that effect if you want to, but I feel like with the Better Than Sex mascara, I go like this, and it's just like really out there and clumpy, but not like voluminous. So this gives you more of a falsies effect, which I really like. It really thickens up your lashes, but they still look long and like eyelashes, and not just like big black chunks of mascara on your eyes. So that's why I really love it. It really holds up a curl nicely too. You can use it for your bottom lashes as well. So definitely recommend this from the drugstore. It is awesome, and I think it's like $8.99, so it's a really great drugstore mascara. So next, I mentioned this maybe a month or 2 ago in my favorites, and this is an eyeshadow from L'Oreal, and I believe that their formula is really good consistently with all the shades, but this is the one that I wear the most. And this is the shade Brass Knuckles. This is the Infallible Paints Metallics, and I think they just released a whole new line of eyeshadows, and I rarely wear single eyeshadows, but this one I've been wearing like all the time, all fall. It's a beautiful color, and then the formula is absolutely spectacular. Like, it is so pigmented. Not only that, but it just applies so like smooth and satin. You would think it's a wet eyeshadow, and it's just a stunning shade. It goes with everything. It goes with every palette. So if I'm missing like a really staple lid color in a palette, and that's what I did a lot throughout the fall, like if I was traveling and I only wanted to bring one palette, but it didn't have like a coppery shade, like a very neutral lid color that I wanted, I would bring this shade as well, and I absolutely love it. Super affordable. It's just a gorgeous color, and you get so much product when you purchase this too. They have a ton of different shades. I have a couple of them, but this is the one that I wear so much. It's so beautiful. It's so like just an ideal lid color, something I could wear with like any lip color. It's just gorgeous, and the formula is just amazing. It's probably my favorite drugstore shadow formula, and it definitely feels like high-end. Like, if you told me that this single shadow was like $20, maybe $25, I would probably repurchase it. But if it was like 20 bucks, I would still repurchase it, like, because the formula feels super high end. So I mentioned a couple highlighters in my highlighters favorites video that I filmed a few weeks ago. One of them is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. I think it's Golden Molten Gold. That's the shade I have, and I know they just came out with a bunch of more shades, and I really want to try them out. But this formula is absolutely stunning, and just actually looking at the packaging and the layout of it, it reminds me of the Makeup Forever highlighters. I haven't tried those out, but that's kind of like what the packaging reminds me of. It's just like super satin and so creamy and really pigmented. Like, it really feels like a cream highlighter, and it just applies so nicely. So I definitely recommend this highlighter. The formula is so beautiful, like just how creamy it is. There's no fallout. It's not chunky at all, and I find that to be the case a lot of times with drugstore highlighters. So I was definitely super impressed by this Maybelline highlighter. I did not expect the formula to be like so pigmented and super creamy. I'm really excited to try out more shades, so I definitely need to order some because I didn't think that I would like that gold shade, and I ended up really liking it. So if I can find like a champagne shade or something a little bit more unique, then I definitely want to try that out as well. So next, I've also been obsessed with the e.l.f. HD highlighters, and I talk about this highlighter all the time, and I know it's sold out a lot. So I'm going to mention it because it's one of my favorites, but I'm also going to give you guys another option in case you can't find it online. This is the Coffee and Cream highlighter in collaboration with That's Heart. I love this. I wear this all the time. I've been wearing it like non-stop for like since the day it came out, for like the past 3 months. I love that it has like more of a cool tone shade and then also like a bronzy rose gold shade, and the formula is super satin. So these are the 2 shades, and I absolutely love this because like I've traveled a couple different times throughout the fall. This is all I bring with me because you have a cool tone, you have something that's more warm, but both of them can go with like every kind of makeup look, like a cool tone, neutral, really natural, really dramatic look. Like these shades are everything. And then most days I end up just mixing them together or just like a little bit more of one depending on what kind of undertone I want with my highlighter. But I've been loving this so much because the formula is amazing. They're really pigmented. You can get like a natural effect or a really dramatic effect depending on how much you apply. And if you build it up, it's definitely not going to look like too much product or chunky because the highlighter formula itself is so smooth and it just has like a really nice finish to it. And then also if you can't find that highlighter because it sells out all the time, their other HD highlighters are also amazing. They just came out with some more highlighters that I'm going to mention in an upcoming haul. I can show you guys. I have one right here. These are the holographic highlighters. I don't like these. Like the formula is very different, but they're HD highlighters. It's the same formula as the That's Heart Duo. This is the one in Sunset Glow. This one is my favorite. It's more of like a champagne color. It's so gorgeous. And like they're so creamy, so I love this formula so much. This is like a very natural, like perfect everyday highlighter. These I think are like $6, so you get so much product. They're really, really pigmented. They feel like very high end. So I highly recommend those. These are the highlighters like I pick in my collection, the That's Heart and then like the HD highlighters from e.l.f. I choose these over a lot of like my $30 highlighters on a regular basis because I just love the formula. And especially if you don't want highlighters to emphasize any texture on your skin, I highly recommend this formula because it's like very finely milled powders where it's not gonna like emphasize the texture like some other highlighters that are a little bit more of a chunky formula. So I just absolutely love it. It just goes on very like smooth and looks really natural on your skin. All right, so lastly I have two sprays that I use every single day. This is the Pixie Glow Mist. This has like changed how I do my makeup. I absolutely love this. I'm halfway done with this. And so this is like an oil spray, and what I do is I spray it onto my beauty blender pretty much every single day, like especially with my more full coverage foundations, just to not even so much sheer it out, but just give it a little bit more of a luminous or natural finish. I apply this to my beauty blender and I really spray it on. Like I spray it like 20 times. My beauty blender is already wet, but I'll like spray it a ton on top of it. And then I buff it out onto my skin. That's my favorite way to apply this. Or sometimes I'll spray this like onto my foundation brush and then apply my foundation onto that. So I use this every day. It's perfect if you have dry skin. And if you have found like in the past, if you've mixed oil into foundation, I like to do that a lot too. But if you find that that's like too heavy or like too luminous and you don't like that feeling, then definitely check this out because it's kind of like the same effect, but it's not as heavy as like an oil, and it's not going to give you as much of a like luminous or dewy finish compared to an oil. This is just going to kind of cut the mattifying effect of a foundation just a little bit without going like too dewy. So it's just like the perfect amount of glow to any kind of foundation. So I highly recommend this, and I definitely recommend trying it on a beauty blender or on a foundation brush. Because if you apply this like all over your face, like if you spray this onto your face, it's gonna look like you just sprayed like oil on your face. It's definitely too much product that way, at least for me because I'm not super dry. But if you apply this onto a beauty blender, it makes such a big difference and I absolutely love it. All right, so lastly we have my Holy Grail setting spray that I've been wearing every single day, like without fail for the past 6 months. And before this, I was definitely not even like a setting spray person. I have a bunch of setting sprays just to have them. I don't think that I really wore them unless I was like, it was a special occasion, like I was going to a wedding or something. I was just never really into setting sprays, but this has like made me a setting spray person and really like appreciate the difference that setting sprays can make. This is from e.l.f. It's part of their Beauty Shield line. It's called their Daily Defense Makeup Mist. This is awesome because it's a skincare product and a makeup product at the same time. So you do get some skincare benefits. It's supposed to like protect your skin from the environment, but it also, I feel like, does a lot for my makeup. Like if I do my makeup in the morning and then I'm going out like later at night and I don't need to redo my makeup or anything, but I might like powder my face again or something, and then I don't want it to look like too cakey, I'll just go in with this again. So it's a very similar effect as like MAC Fix Plus, where it's just gonna like revive your makeup or help your makeup look like less powdery and just like settle into your skin. It's definitely not like Urban Decay All Nighter where it's really gonna hold your makeup into place. That's not what this is for. This is more of like making your makeup look more natural looking, like giving you more of a radiant natural finish, but then it also has skincare benefits. So I really, really love this spray because I don't like a powdery feeling on my face after I do my makeup, or if my makeup looks like too cakey or just heavy and I want to tone it down a little bit or just have it like sink into my skin a little bit more. I always go in with this spray and I like to reapply it throughout the day just to like revamp my makeup. And then if I do touch up my makeup throughout the day and I add more powder to avoid looking more powdery, I go in with this too. And I also love that it has like a citrus scent to it. So it really like wakes me up every time that I apply it. And sometimes I'll just apply it if I'm like tired, I'll just like reapply it. It also has like a very fine mist. So there's some like makeup sprays that have like a very like pronounced mist where it just is like blobs of water on your face and you could see like water goblets and like your foundation's missing wherever you applied it and there's like nothing you can do about it. Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about, because there's definitely mist like that, but this has like a very like fine like airy mist, so I can apply it like 20 times and it's not gonna do that because it's so fine. Like the mister is so fine from this, so it's not gonna actually ruin your makeup no matter how much you apply. I guess if you were to apply like a whole bottle, but I can definitely like spray it a ton and not have anything to worry about, and I could reapply it throughout the day and it's not gonna change the look of my makeup, and it's just like very hydrating. It feels like really nourishing. It wakes me up every time I apply it, and it also has skincare benefits to it too. So definitely recommend this setting spray. It's like maybe $10 and it just works so nicely. I use this one. I have like Urban Decay ones. I have some other like high-end sprays, but this is the one that I use like every single day. Alright guys, so that's everything for my drugstore beauty favorites for 2017. Definitely let me know your drugstore favorites in the comments, and let me know if you tried out some newer drugstore releases in the comments, so I could definitely like be on the lookout for some of those products you guys recommend and incorporate them in upcoming videos. And I will list all the products I mentioned in my description box. I'm pretty sure these earrings are available still in case you guys are curious, and I will list those in my description box as well. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.